You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Happy Jupiter Day. Welcome to your June 9th. And happy birthday to some very notable Geminis. First and foremost, Johnny Depp. What a solar return celebration he is probably having after the past couple months that he's been dealing with. And by the way, I've mentioned this before, but Johnny Depp is going through his second Saturn return during the whole trial. So if you've ever questioned whether the timing of astrology is real, that's a big indicator. Talk about a Saturn return trial, literally, that he had to go through. But not only is he celebrating a birthday today, the queen herself, Natalie Portman, is a Gemini. I love Natalie Portman. Also, Michael J. Fox. Let's see who else. Keisha Gray. Any other famous Geminis we need to mention? Are you a famous Gemini? Are you watching? Is someone else that you love or you know a Gemini? Let us know in the comments. Aaron Sorkin is also a Gemini. All right, so today we're talking about a lot of air energy. The sun is in Gemini, of course, and the moon is in Libra. And when we have the sun and the moon in the same element, at some point during that transit, they're going to form a trine, a harmonious 120-degree angle with each other. And the reason for, or the thing you can think about is that it's a harmonious angle because both the moon and sun are in the same element. So they're working together easily, right? So that's what we're dealing with towards the end of our day. But we could hit a bit of a bumpy ride on the way there. So let's talk about the transits we've been experiencing so far and what's leading up to that trine, which happens tonight. And I would love to know if you're watching, if you're joining me live right now, how's the energy feeling for you this morning? If it's not quite harmonious and balanced just yet, I'm right there with you. So hang on, we're going to talk all about it. All right, so let me pull up the chart here and you can see what's going on. Oh, we are a day behind. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. This is tonight, but you get the idea. This is actually when the sun and the moon will be connecting really beautifully with one another. So earlier this morning at 5 a.m., the moon in Libra opposed Mars in Aries. So the moon opposed Mars. This can be a tricky transit. This can be a little bit difficult to deal with. And let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm right there with you, Court. Been actually trying to find a balance the last few days between all the new things. Definitely Libra moon energy, right? Trying to find balance. We talked a lot about the Libra moon yesterday, but just a refresher. The moon in Libra makes us want to be around other people. It's easier to relate to other people, and we can process our emotions through relating. So through conversations or, bouncing ideas, bouncing emotions off of other people. We can also weigh our own emotions against other people's judgments. So kind of trying to find that center point or balance point between what feels really big and emotional for us, and sometimes an outside perspective can make it feel a little bit less daunting or overwhelming. So relating to other people is really favored under the Libra moon, and we want to be around other people. We enjoy being in other people's company, especially tonight. We'll get to that. But I think Rose and I are on the same page. I think it seems like we're on the same page. On the struggle bus with balance this whole week. Yeah. Yep. This Libra moon is really inviting us over today, over tomorrow, to figure out that balance. And so, the moon's moving into Scorpio, I believe tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, which is going to intensify emotion. So really using today, the beginning of tomorrow, to try to find that balance. Even if you feel like you're juggling a million things, I'm right there with you. Just trying to find the internal peace, your internal center to come back to. A little worried about this Saturday Venus-Uranus conjunction. What's the surprise news? We're going to talk about Venus and Uranus actually in today's forecast. And you're probably starting to feel it, not only because Venus and Uranus are pretty close together now, within 2 degrees of each other in the sky over here, but also because the moon is making minor connections with both of them today. So what's the surprise news? That's the question of the day, right? We know that there are shifts and changes happening, but we are not quite there yet. You are not alone, Rose. Girl, if you could have been a fly on my wall this morning, you would have been like, oh, I'm not the only one. I am not the only one feeling it. Okay, so the moon in Libra, we're relating to other people. We want things to be peaceful, harmonious, balanced. Also, it can feel like indecision. The Libra moon makes us a little bit more indecisive or unsure of ourselves, unsure of our emotions, because we're constantly weighing them against other people's and looking at different perspectives. So, you're going to have to remind me of your first name again. I'm pretty sure it starts with an H. Remind me again. But what you said, Lion's Prince, it's what we'll call you for now. It's like we're trying to make sense of things, and it's kind of, like what's going to happen. It feels like this indecision or not sure energy just yet. Okay, so the moon opposed Mars. Let's start there. That happened at 5 a.m. when the moon was at 11 degrees. And this chart is what it'll look like tonight. So just use your imagination a little bit so I don't have to jump around too much. Heather, right? I was going to say Heidi, but it's Heather. I'm going to remember that. Okay, so the moon opposed Mars. Anytime the moon opposes Mars, this makes us feel restless, impulsive, even a little bit frustrated. It's like we're ready to hit the ground running. When the moon opposes Mars, we're magnetized towards that go energy. But like I said, the Libra moon makes us indecisive. So it can feel a little bit anxious. Like, I want to do these things, but how should I do it? When should I do it? What exactly should I do? And that can create anxiety or frustration. It can also make us feel impulsive. Like, I'm just going to do the thing. Just do it, right? But also it can make us feel like I really want to do the thing, but I can't do it. So it's kind of this like push-pull energy, right? Channeling this, again, this happened at 5 a.m. So we woke up feeling this sense of like needing to do something or being a little bit frustrated or restless. Channeling that energy into something that you're passionate about or something that you know will bring you back to your center, back to peace, is going to be really helpful. And we'll be feeling this energy throughout the day. Oppositions, especially, it's magnetic energy, right? So, if you're feeling that frustration pop up, coming back to center, coming back to your own peaceful state, even if it's just taking a moment, taking a breath, doing a 5-minute breathwork session with all the air energy today. Breathwork would be a really powerful tool. Using the breath can really help you kind of balance your own scales again, if you will. So we'll all take a deep breath together, I think, at the end of this. I think that'll be helpful. Okay, and so also happening today, I'm going to go a little bit out of order here, but not too much. The moon is opposing Chiron at noon. So you can see, because Mars and Chiron are so close to each other, first the moon hits Mars, then it hits Chiron. It's a similar energy, honestly, because Chiron is the wounded healer. It represents our deepest wounds and our ability to heal them. So when the moon opposes Chiron, it can make us feel triggered or like we really want healing, but we're not there. Or, it just can create like a mirror of what our wounds are, what still needs to be healed. And that can again, be frustrating. Like I said, we have a beautiful connection by the end of the day, but it's a bit of a bumpy ride to get there. So this is kind of a direct look. If you are intentional enough about following frustrations to the source, following even just like little things that are pissing you off, taking a moment, coming back to center and being like, what is this showing me? That can provide a healing moment under this opposition between the moon and Chiron. So, really staying centered today, coming back to our breath is going to help navigate any tense energy that pops up. And healing is possible when we have this opposition between the moon and Chiron. So just know that I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you. If you're frustrated today, if you're already feeling that, if it pops up throughout the day, just look at it as a healing opportunity. What can I do? Not even to prevent this from happening in the future, but just how can I be a little bit more gracious towards myself? How can I love that part of myself a little bit more that's getting frustrated or being hard on myself, or maybe that's not fully healed? Healing isn't a linear journey. Sometimes things pop up in order to take us to our next evolution, right? So just be gracious with yourself through the first part of today. Yes, Ken. No wonder this healing process is taking a while. And it does, it does. And you're still showing up for yourself. You're still being intentional. You're coming to the live stream. You're finding ways to come back to your center, come back to your own peace, find your own understanding amid the uncertainty of life. And that's a beautiful thing. And you should be really proud of yourself. Does having a house retrograded affect the transits? Not sure exactly what you mean there, but give me a little more clarity. A house can't necessarily go retrograde, but if you have a lot in one house that's retrograde, that could, create an area of your life that feels like it's moving backwards. But give me a little more information. Okay, and I love how Heather already brought up the Venus-Uranus conjunction. And we're talking all about this tomorrow. We're going deep into the weekend transits. We got Mercury and Pluto connecting. We're already feeling that. There's a lot of insights that are coming through that we've been feeling really all week. But those insights are going to get clearer. Those downloads are going to come more clearly and more quickly, and probably with more depth as these two planets come into a trine. So just know that there's a lot of puzzle pieces coming together right now. But let me show you what's happening with the Libra Moon and Venus and Uranus today. So like I said, Venus and Uranus now within 2 degrees of each other over here in Taurus. The moon throughout the day, this morning and this afternoon, connects with both of these planets in a quincunx, or an inconjunct angle. This is a 150-degree angle. It's imbalanced. I view this as this is happening on one plane, this Venus-Uranus conjunction. The Libra moon is over here. They're not quite connecting, but we know that shifts are happening. We know that changes are coming with this Venus-Uranus conjunction. We're just not fully aligned with them just yet. And that's okay, especially under the Libra moon. It's we aren't really in the best mindset to fully make decisions or be clear about things just yet. The Scorpio moon's going to oppose that conjunction. Again, we'll talk about this tomorrow, and that's going to be a lot clearer. So just know that if you can't quite make sense of the changes happening, it's like I talked about puzzle pieces, right? It's like we're gathering these puzzle pieces throughout the week, little bits of information coming in, little realizations coming in. We've maybe made the border of the puzzle. We've gotten a few things together. We know that there's supposed to be, let's just say, a house in this puzzle, but we can't quite see it yet. That's the Venus-Uranus conjunction. We know that it's happening. We're not fully there yet. So just know that the moon is making these uncomfortable connections. It's also when the moon is making inconjunct angles like this, although we're not aligned, although it's not flowing or apparent what's happening over there, it's also an opportunity for adjustment. So the Venus-Uranus conjunction is creating those disruptions, those changes in love, in money, in the things we find beautiful, in our values even. And you can sense that, right? Heather's spot on. She can sense it. We're there. But this moon phase, the Libra moon, is an opportunity to make some adjustments, make some tweaks. How can I align with that energy of the Venus-Uranus conjunction a little bit more? How can I be more prepared or just open and available for whatever shifts happen over the weekend or over the next few days? So just kind of, it all is about coming back to that center point for yourself, coming back to your own peaceful state, so that when there is turbulence, when these shifts are happening around you, the Libra moon has helped you get back into your own center. Waiting on a big decision that is going on next week. I've been living in this uncertainty for about 4 weeks now. I think I remember you about a month ago bringing this up. So I'm dying to know what's going to happen. I think Friday or Monday you could get a decision just based on the Venus-Uranus conjunction. I mean, we could go deeper into your own chart, and what's going on, but shifts are happening. So just trust that they're happening in divine timing. It can be, especially with this moon opposition to Mars right now, impatience is huge. Like, we just want to figure it out now, and that can be really frustrating. But just know that it's happening in divine timing. It's all happening for you, for your highest and best. So if your Chiron is retrograde, that's an interesting placement. Tell me what sign your Chiron is in if you know, but if your Chiron is retrograde, throughout your life, Cass, you're probably going to be reviewing and returning to your healing journey, going back to the wounds. And that doesn't mean they always have to be open and you always have to be in this painful place. But Chiron retrograde is like really a review of the hurt, a review of the pain, and a lot of analysis there too, really asking you to be observant of these things when they pop up. You could be a great person at helping other people review their pain too, or review their trauma too. So it's more like, instead of your Chiron being direct and it's like, this is the healing we're doing, this is the healing journey, for you it's more like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, constantly kind of coming back to, what am I learning? Where's that trigger coming from? Oh, the meeting is scheduled for next Friday. Okay, so next week, I think the Venus-Uranus conjunction for you then could create, kind of a shift in your values or what's important to you and get you ready for whatever that decision is. Okay, so we talked about these inconjunct angles between the moon and Venus and Uranus, getting us ready to talk all about that conjunction tomorrow. But by the end of the day, the moon forms a trine to the sun. This is the main transit of the day. This is what we're looking forward to, the saving grace of today's forecast. The moon and the sun locking into this 120-degree angle. And you'll notice Saturn is making a loose trine to these planets as well. So, it's not quite a grand trine, but Saturn is there. I don't want to talk about Saturn today because I'm in my Saturn return. I'm not happy with Saturn at the moment, but lessons are happening in the background. With these realizations, with these shifts, there are lessons as well. Okay, but when the moon and sun lock into a trine like this, it makes us feel more confident, especially with the moon and relationship-focused Libra, the sun and social Gemini. We want to be around other people. We're more outgoing. We are excited to express ourselves. We're more confident. It's just good vibes when the moon and sun lock into a trine. We love that. And so, if it feels like you're walking through frustration throughout the day, just keep your eyes on the prize. Know by about 7 p.m. Pacific time or the end of the night, you'll be able to convey your emotions, understand your emotions with more ease, with more grace. Sentiments will feel lovely and light. You can have light, enjoyable conversations with other people tonight. And even, before 7 p.m., as the moon and sun come closer to this trine throughout the day, the energy will lighten up. We will all just feel a little bit less heavy, especially because these are air signs. It's like we're floating off on a nice little social cloud this evening. And, it'll feel like a lot of the frustration of the day is kind of fading away by the end of the night, just feeling more at peace. That 120-degree trine is flowing. It's peaceful. It's harmonious, really leaning into that Libra energy. So today is all about returning to that state. Safe, I'm so happy to see you in the comments. I hope you're doing well, my friend. So yeah, those are the transits today. It's a little bit of a tumultuous push-pull throughout the day, kind of knowing these changes are happening, feeling a little bit of anxiety or indecision, but more confident by the end of the day today. And I will also mention, I touched on this, but Mercury and Pluto are now coming into this trine. I believe it is exact tomorrow. So you can see Mercury at 27 degrees in Taurus, Pluto at 28 degrees in Capricorn, that dark blue line. This is allowing profound insights to come through, especially from our subconscious, like these deep realizations, these powerful realizations that we've been having throughout the week are only going to get stronger as this connection becomes stronger as well. All right, let's see. Let's talk about today's affirmation, because I think it's been really helpful for me already. And oh, this is the wrong affirmation, but it's been really helpful for me already, and I think it might be helpful for you too if you're experiencing the same thing as me today. I'm just really in a state of trying to find a flow, making changes on my own to my business model, to my structure, to my daily plan. And that can be frustrating because it's a lot of trial and error, right? And I just want it to be easy. I want it to flow. And the energy of this morning has not been one of flow. But today's affirmation is, I let it be easy. I let it be easy. That's the energy we're leaning into. So if you find yourself like, I'm not good enough, or, you know, I want to do this thing, but I can't figure out how, or just coming into frustration or anxiety, how can it be easier? How can you let it be more easy? That's been really helpful, like I said, for me today. And I invite you to return to that if you're feeling off balanced in any way. I let it be easy. What would feel the easiest? What would feel the most peaceful in my body today? I let it be easy. All right, and let's do our card pull now. I'm going to pull from the universe has your back. I don't have time for a full description today. I need the quick message. I need it straight from the universe. So this is your time to ask any more questions, and to ask your questions of the universe too. Maybe take a moment to get centered. I've been having computer problems all morning. A great point. Mercury is still in its shadow period too, Heather. So I know Mercury retrograde ended like a week ago, but Mercury's still in its shadow period. Sometimes the shadow period can be a little bit intense, you know, especially with Mercury at a high degree right now. It's kind of getting into this point of like, once Mercury hits 29 degrees, we could see a little bit more of that Mercury retrograde energy. But yeah, I know you're not alone. I've been hearing a lot of people having tech issues. I myself have been having tech and communication issues still. So just know Mercury's shadow period should be over right around next week's full moon. Girlfriend, I have been so hard on myself lately. So hard. I mean, and I recognize that I am literally in the middle of my Saturn return. Saturn hits my Saturn a second time at the end of June. So I'm like in the middle of probably the most intense part of it. But it doesn't make it any easier to navigate. I mean, it helps knowing, but I've really noticed being hard on myself in my Saturn return. Wow. Same here with everything. Did Kundalini to ease the frustration, and it did miracles. Yes, you have that practice that helps you come back to your center, helps you come back to peace and harmony for yourself. So even if it's not Kundalini for the others watching, you know, finding if it's dancing, if it's whatever it is for you that makes you feel peaceful, that kind of yoga, you know, even meditation, even just sitting in your backyard for 10 minutes and letting the sun hit your skin, whatever it is that helps you come back to peace, clear out any frustration, just kind of come back to center. I encourage you to do that today. But we're all on the same page this morning, guys. Let all things flow with ease and grace. Coming from an air sign stellium. We love the air sign stelliums. Yes, I let all things flow with ease and grace. I let it be easy. I let it be easy. Okay, well, that's a great point, or that's a great moment to come back to our card. This is the card that popped out of the deck. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. It's really hard to have fun when you're frustrated, right? It's hard to have fun when you're being hard on yourself. But when you're in that peaceful state, when you're in that flow state, when you let it be easy, it can be more fun. And when you're in that vibration of fun and ease and play and joy, you're attracting that energy to you. So if there's something you're wanting to manifest, if there's something you're wanting to happen, even if you're just looking for more clarity about something, having fun, being in flow, being in ease is the easiest way to get your answer, to get direction. So instead of trying to figure it all out today, the Libra Moon can make it like we're constantly looking at all these different perspectives, trying to make these adjustments, figure out where to go next. I've said indecision a million times, but it's an indecisive energy. Instead of trying to figure it out, just have some fun today. Just come back to that peaceful state and it'll all work itself out. It's all gonna work out. Ooh. Okay, this is a great recommendation from Jackie. I'm not going to try to say that word because I'm going to mess it up, but Awakening the 10 Bodies Kundalini Yoga. I haven't tried Kundalini yet, but it's on my list. It's on my list, Jackie. Been reading about an upcoming square to Neptune coming up causing disappointment, so that's been stressing me out now. Remember, Heather, the transits aren't a sentence, so yes, let me see. What is forming a square to Neptune? Probably the sun. The sun is coming into a square with Neptune in the next week or so. And yeah, that can create some confusion or cloudiness of our judgment, but I don't think it necessarily has to be disappointment. And something that's really empowering and beautiful that many of you watching know Kat from Crystal Rising, but she taught me this. You can just say, I don't subscribe to that timeline. I don't consent. I'm not envisioning that being the outcome. It's okay that there might be some confusion or, slowness that comes up in the next week. That's okay, but don't get too fixated on one transit and what the negative outcome could be. Instead, have some fun, focus on positive energy, and that positive energy will flow to you. Remember, you're a co-creator of your reality. So just as much as the transits affect us, knowing what's going on helps us co-create, helps us be empowered to take more aligned action, to know that it's not just us, that there's other energy that we're working with, not influencing us, but that we are actively shaping and working with. I don't know what you're telling me this about, but I receive it and I thank you because I needed to hear this today. So thank you, Court. It's been an interesting morning so far, but not bad. Just I'm learning a lot. I've learned a lot about myself in the past few hours, to be honest with you, just being frustrated with myself. Chiron opposes my Saturn, so I've been really feeling the transformation in inner child wounds during my Saturn return. Oh, wow. Yeah, your Saturn return is such a healing moment for you, Rachel. Like all the lessons, all of the trials you're facing during your Saturn return, that opposition is like you're facing those wounds. It's like a mirror to your deepest wounds. So it's, in a way, it's kind of beautiful that it's all happening at the same time. You're working through a lot at the same time, but it can probably feel really intense while you're in it. So I love that you're aware of this. I love that you already understand what's going on with you, what's going on with your chart. It makes it so much easier just having that awareness, but emotionally, it's not. We're still going through the emotions, right? So I feel you. I feel you. I'm in that Saturn return too, girl. And we need to start like a Saturn return support group or something. Like just to vent about these things. All right. That's today's forecast. Remember, the universe works fast when I am having fun. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. Find those activities, find those moments of your day that bring you back to peace, that invite in a little bit more ease, more joy, more play, more fun, so that you can lean more into that energy. And by the end of the day, fun is our middle name. Ease is our middle name during this trine between the moon and the sun tonight. So just know the good energy is coming. We're going to feel more social, more chatty, more just better. We're just going to feel better by the end of the day today. I really do believe that. Do you think whatever is happening on the 11th has to do with the full moon on the 14th? So that Venus-Uranus conjunction, I believe, is what you're talking about, Heather. You know, I think it's interesting that we're talking today about a lot of this adjustment energy, right? Like kind of trying to find balance amid a lot of moving parts, a lot of other connections. I think the full moon in Sagittarius, it's such a fun full moon. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. Also, side note, you can tell Mercury is still retrograde because I'm like, blah, 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 blah. That's how you know, you guys. I am like a mercurial person. If my speech isn't clear, we know that Mercury retrograde or Mercury shadow period is still acting up a little bit, okay? Anyway, do I think whatever's happening on the 11th has to do with the full moon? I really think that full moon in Sagittarius is going to be this illumination point of these changes that have happened. And with the moon in Sagittarius, it's like higher knowledge. There's a lot of expansion that happens with this full moon, but with it being a full moon, it's a celebration, it's a culmination point. So I think it's really going to help us honor and celebrate and realize, shine light on all of these changes that have been happening over the past week and really over the past moon cycle. So give yourself grace. I think this is going to be a really fun full moon in Sagittarius. And yeah, I think it'll be really illuminating. And I'm hoping it'll be really fun too. So good things are coming. Good things are coming. I know, I can tell, I can feel the energy from all of you right now in the comments. We're all like, we're feeling that Mars moon opposition. Like, we need to do something. What's happening next? Like, we're really impatient and we want to figure it all out right now. Don't worry about figuring it out today. Don't worry about figuring it out today. Tomorrow, yeah, you might figure it out. Over the weekend, some things might come through that clear it up. But today, just focus on your own peace. And remember, I let it be easy. I let it be easy. I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today. Thank you so much for showing up for each other, this community we're building in the comments. I love you all. I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so excited to talk through the weekend with you tomorrow, get you prepared for that Venus-Uranus conjunction, get you aligned with all the shifts and changes happening for you right now, and get you aligned for more clear realizations to come through as well. I will see you right back here tomorrow morning, but until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.